Oh, that wasn't that wasn't politically correct, was it? Oh, that's right. I'm not running for office. I forgot. Okay. Ending. Oh, the title of the book is The Coddling of the American Mind. There's another book called Anti-Fragile. I don't know if you've read Anti-Fragile, but Anti-Fragile says the premise of the book is this: the same wind that extinguishes a candle feeds a forest fire. So what's the point? Don't be the candle, be the forest fire. And so the difficulties that break weak people, there's fragile, there's non-fragile, and there's anti-fragile. Fragile, easily broken. Non-fragile, not easily broken. Anti-fragile, the things that break most folk make us stronger. Anti-fragile. So I didn't even read the story yet. Okay, so now we understand the background. David is living in Ziklag. He's living in the comfort zone, and he's settled for it. And the comfort zone was the place of hiding. How many of you are hiding in your comfort zone? Hiding in that easy place? Huh? But it's also the place of hindrance. See, because as long as you're in the comfort zone, if you're sitting on the throne of Ziklag, you are not sitting on the throne of Israel. It's a place of hindrance. And what's really interesting, I don't even know how much time I have. It's a place of hesitation because you're waiting and waiting and waiting for that perfect time. There is no perfect time. So you have to take the time that is and make that perfect. So now we're going to read the story, and you're going to see what happens. This is mind-blowing. Here's what it says. 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse number 1, down to verse number 8. It says, "And it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day," because they left where the battle was going on between Saul and the Israelites, "that the Amalekites had invaded the south and Ziklag and smitten Ziklag and burned it with fire." Wow. "And had taken the women captives that were therein, and slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away and went on their way, so that his men came, so David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire, and their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captive. And David's people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept. Then David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept until they had no more power to weep." Have you ever cried that hard? Have you ever cried so hard that you ran out of tears? Wow, exactly. This is a place of despair. Why? Because the comfort zone had been burned to the ground. Here's what's the interesting thing about the comfort zone. Oftentimes, we relish the comfort zone so much that God has to ordain that an enemy destroy it. Because I'm not going to, we ain't going to destroy it. I would destroy it, but it's a little bit too comfortable. And see, a lot of times, we think that what's going on that's difficult is the end. But everything that feels bad ain't bad, and everything that feels good ain't good. And we think that the destruction of the comfort zone is the destruction of my life, but it's not. Right? Because why? Because my life begins at the end of my comfort zone. And we're talking right now about the end of the comfort zone. But here's what's going to happen. In your life, in my life, I can think back to times in my life where I did not end my comfort zone. God ended it. Right? Just like God said, okay, I'm gonna send destruction. I'm gonna ordain. God doesn't send the destruction. He ordains that the enemy brings the destruction to destroy your comfort zone. Here's what the enemy doesn't realize.